People, a pleasant morning to you. All right. I hear people say they're not voting because the two are the same. The two major political parties are the same. And no better herring, no better barrel. Even if the two are identical, and even with identical twins or twin, they cannot be the same in terms of personality and in terms of character. The only similar, and even in their so-called identical look, there is a difference. It's just that you or I may not necessarily see the difference immediately. The parent or the grandparent or guardian or whomever may be around them may notice a slight difference in the cheekbones, in the mouth, in the teeth, the weight, whatever it may be. There is something that they will see, or maybe a mole is on one which is not on the other. Something is different, even with the identical twin, you know. And I've seen that you just have to sometimes observe them, over a time. So I'm saying that to say this, that they're not identically the same. They may come from a similar ideology and background, but they're different. And with the different generations, you're going to have different ideologies creeping in and coming in and becoming systemic. Now, I want you to understand the importance of voting, so I'm going to give you some fundamental truths behind it. Voting is important because it gives people power to shape their government and influence decisions that affect their lives. That's a basic synopsis of voting. You may think that it will not influence and shape. It does. It does, especially in this current 21st century. And I'm going to give you some key reasons why voting really matters and why you should go out and vote in this upcoming general election for 2025. It's a fundamental democratic right. Voting is one of the most direct ways citizens can participate in a democracy. It's how we choose our leaders and hold them accountable. Trust me, now notice how people are holding them accountable now, especially with the advent of social media and what can be promulgated out there in the atmosphere and in the air, space, and waves of people to convince them of who to vote for, who not to vote for. Two, it impacts real life issues. Some of the real life issues. A lot of people, one of the fundamental two fundamental, let me not say, I can say four fundamental areas: finances, the healthcare system, crime. And the reason why I probably wouldn't do crime now, because they say crime is down by between 43 to 45%, as in violent acts that leads to murder. Crime, that's the crime I'm talking about, because crime and violence is wide and it is varied. So it impacts real life decisions. For example, the public sector workers and even some private sector workers complain about poor salaries. These are issues that affect them. When we look at the education system, how you have people in high school reading at grade 4 or below level, which is really unacceptable. When you look at the healthcare system and they talk about these things, so that is what we talk about with real life issues. So elections decide who makes decisions on education, which I mentioned, healthcare, job and wages, yes, climate policy, civil rights, taxes. God, but if we could just get a year free after. I know taxes contribute to the growth and development. Don't get me wrong, people. It's just sometimes you wish you could just get a little break from taxes. Just a little break, just a breather. So when you vote, you help shape policies on these other critical issues. Every vote counts. Please do not say that your vote will not count. It will. For every big thing, this chair that I'm sitting in, it's a sum of small things that made it up. It's a sum of small things. So this, it may be a material, a cloth, whatever it is that they had to use to build it up. The bark of a tree, whatever it is. Something had to make it up, and they came together to make the chair. So every vote counts. So while it may seem like one vote doesn't matter, many elections, especially local ones, are decided by the very small margins. So your vote can be the difference. Remember in this local election, so it was basically neck and neck, and they had to use popular vote to say, okay, this one will win that, this one. And to this day, I've never seen anything like this. They still cannot agreeably come together to say this particular political side has won overall, and this one has won. They cannot agreeably, like both are holding on to and say, I won, I won. Please, we don't want that for this general election. It cannot be had. It would be ridiculous and foolhardy. So, your vote can be the difference. It gives voice to your values. Voting allows you to express what you believe in, whether it's justice, equality, economic opportunity, or any other issue that matters to you. Local elections matter too. People often focus only on presidential elections, but local and state elections. So, we have the local elections and what we would call general elections, have huge influence over schools, policing, transportation, and housing. It honors those who fought for the right. Many people, especially women, people of color, and marginalized communities, have had to fight hard to gain and protect the right to vote. Participating in election honors that struggle. Remember your foreparents. Remember what many of them had to go through. So stop with the nonsense and the foolery and the folly and the ridiculous mindset that I'm not going to vote because no better herring, no better barrel. Well, vote for either the herring or the barrel. Somebody has to lead. Can you imagine if we are so lawless and disrespectful in this country? Can you imagine a country not having a leader to kind of at least mitigate what we're going through? It would be worse than the that movie. I don't know for who watch it, and they have, I think, 4 parts or 3 parts to it. It's like they legally give you a right for a certain time to get rid of people permanently. I don't know why I can never remember it. And they have about 3 to 4 parts to it. Boy, we could have never have that, because everybody would have gone. Because some people who secretly don't even like us would never know. That movie, I had to watch it because that movie showed me that, with the neighbor, especially the first part where the neighbor didn't even know the neighbor hated them. Thought they were friends. It's how changes happens. It's how change happens. Movements for progress, whether civil rights, environmental protections, or economic reforms, relies on political engagement, especially voting. Vote, people. Please do not come with a ridiculous sort of weightless, I'm not going to say it's 100% weightless and baseless, ideology that no better herring, no better barrel, same for the same. No, they're not, because as I mentioned, even with identical twin, they're not identical even in the look. There's something that is different. It's just that you or I, who may not have a keen eye for twin differences in the identical ones I'm talking, may not see it as yet until after a while. Whether it's a bone structure, the cheekbone, the eyes, the lips, something is different. So something is different. So vote, people, please. And I'm encouraging you to vote where you're convicted to vote, in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. Not who somebody tells you to vote for. You observe things, you weigh the pros, you weigh the cons, look at what has been happening and everything. And that is how you vote. In short, voting is not just a civic duty. It's a tool for change. When people don't vote, when you do not vote, they give up their voice in shaping the future. If you don't vote, you don't have a voice. You really shouldn't open up your bung shell. You're not, because you would have contributed to whatever decadence that is presently going on. And let us say that if you vote and things don't change, but at least you would have voted, and one day that seed will blossom and you will see the fruit of your labor in voting. Vote, vote, vote. I beseech of you, I implore you to. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe, give me one of those lions.